Let's talk about these text messages that have been released in the past couple of days between Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Ken, Gypsy's boyfriend, sister, Autumn. Now, in these text messages, Gypsy says that she was not going to release them, right? Well, technically, she didn't. She gave them to Bree to release. What her motive is in this, I don't know. Because, I mean, they don't make her look any better. And they don't make Autumn look bad, so I don't understand. But anyways, she does start talking about one of the videos where she is speaking on if her and Nicholas had a 13-year-old daughter, that when the daughter was 13, that Gypsy would give the daughter to Nicholas, and Nicholas would, let's just say, make her a woman, okay? Gypsy says that, yeah, it was disgusting and inexcusable that she said that. But she claims that in one of the Facebook accounts she had at that time, that Nicholas had sent her a message and told her to say this. A lie. Because the Foyas, and I believe it was Barb from Straight Outta Context, got all of the Facebook data. And that accessed all of the accounts that Gypsy had at that time. And there was nothing like that. But Autumn asked Gypsy, she says, hey, can I release this? Where you're saying, that you feel bad about saying this. It'll show people that you have a conscience and that you're maybe not all bad and there is something that you regret about this. And Gypsy, absolutely not. When she's ready to talk about these videos, she'll talk about them. But it would have been a good move on her part because it would have made her look a teeny bit better. I mean, even though that she's probably lying, but it's got to be her way all the time, Gypsy's way. And then she's talking about these same videos, these FOIA videos. She says that there were some that should have never been released because they contained nudity. She says that some content creators released these with the nudity, but they covered her nipple, they blurred her nipples and her vagina, as she said. But they still showed her entire body. So she's still looking into pursuing legal action against these content creators, whoever showed these said videos, because that is classified as revenge porn. I don't understand how. And I thought I've seen all of the FOIA videos, and I never seen one where she was completely nude, and things had to be blurred out. Because she says, that these were supposed to be for, educational purposes or whatnot, and not to humiliate her. So I don't understand how it could be classified as revenge porn, and I never even seen a video like that, but hey, what do I know? Then let's see, she's decided, she said that she plans to continue to stay on the internet, and the only reason she stays on the internet, she says, is as a big F-U to everybody. Because, nobody's going to make her get off the internet, and she's standing up to bullies. That's what she's doing. I thought she's just being messy and making chaos everywhere she goes, but that's her version of standing up to bullies, I guess. And she says a lot of people, this is shocking here, she says a lot of people are saying she's jealous of Mia's engagement. I believe she is. I believe that's why her and Mia unfollowed each other on Instagram. Because, they were supposed to wear white or whatever, and here Gypsy shows up to the engagement, and they take them photos, and Gypsy's wearing blue, doing her own thing. I still say that's what sparked a little tiff between her and Mia, but we'll never know. Because, she said Mia just wants to kind of take a step back from the drama, and that's why she unfollowed her. And then Gypsy, to do Mia a favor, unfollowed Mia, so, just to avoid the drama. No. But she said people say she's jealous, which I think she is. That's why she wore that blue, because she had to stand out. And even though it was Mia's day, she had to be the center of attention with her blue dress. But she claims her own engagement is coming, and it's coming this year. I'll believe that when I see it, because I do not think Ken is going to marry her. If he decides to give her a ring, that's as far as it's going to go. They'll never get married. No, I don't believe that for a minute. And she goes to talking about the blanket video. She is not blaming Autumn for releasing this video. She thinks that somebody else from her side released it. She doesn't think, Ken released it. She knows Autumn didn't release it. She knows it wasn't Ryan. She suspects it's whoever had Aurora at the time she made this video. So who was watching Aurora? We know that her friend Cal Rocky watches Aurora, but I don't think she's speculating it's her because, she just did a battle with Cal Rocky. And did you see that? Somebody gifted Gypsy a lion, a $400 gift. Ooh-wee. But I think she's insinuating that Christy released this blanket video. And if she did, there was probably some kind of financial gain there. Because why else would Christy release this? And we know Christy's a snake. So, she says that, Autumn had said, people were saying Gypsy stunk and Gypsy walked funny and this and that. So Autumn goes ahead to defend Gypsy, to try to play a good sister-in-law, and says, that yeah, she has met Gypsy and Aurora is real, and that no, Gypsy does not stink and she does not walk funny. Well, Gypsy is just livid because Autumn lied. Autumn has never met Gypsy and Aurora. She said that she fibbed, as she says, to make you look better. But Gypsy is so hung up on this little lie that Autumn said that she met them. Why would you even be angry about that? It was just message after message after message after message where you lied. See what I mean? Liars are like that. Gypsy is one of the biggest liars we've seen in a long time. But if she catches somebody in a lie, oh, it's a big deal. But it's not a big deal when she lies, right? And Autumn did this, trying to make Gypsy look better, to say, yeah, I've been around her and she doesn't stink. But Gypsy can't see that part of it. Even though, Gypsy is letting Sheena and Morbid and everybody talk big shit about Autumn. And Autumn's actually tried, she's telling people she doesn't really want to, she don't want to talk shit about her. But, Gypsy can't get past nothing. And then Gypsy's also claiming in these messages that when Aurora was younger, that somebody doxed her medical records and put them online. Number one, I'm still on team no baby. I don't believe there is baby, but I don't recall anybody ever doxing any baby medical records and breaking HIPAA. So Gypsy claims there's an investigation into this, whoever did this, because she filed a report with a government website. The only thing I ever recall is, some people saying that this supposed baby doesn't have the microdeletion. Okay, that's a good thing. But I don't recall anybody doxing any medical records for this baby, supposed baby. So, I don't know. That's about everything with these texts. It was just a bunch of going back and forth. And Autumn is standing by what she says, that there is a video of Gypsy carving. Now it's not an X. She said Gypsy carved whore into that headboard. And if it's just Autumn talking, she thought nobody was going to get a hold of these text messages because Gypsy swore she wasn't going to give them to anybody, right? So she thought this was just strictly between her and Gypsy. I think she actually did trust Gypsy. And she's still insisting to Gypsy, I didn't release the headboard video and speaking on this headboard video as if it is 1,000,000% real. Why would she, fake that there's a video if she thought, if she thought no one was going to ever see these messages? I think that there is this headboard video and it's going to come out one of these days. And I cannot wait. Because she said she did show the video of the blanket video to her therapist. And the therapist asked if Aurora had been home at the time, and she said no. So, therefore, the therapist, being a mandated reporter, did not have to report it because Aurora was not there and in any danger. And I think that's why Gypsy's terrified about this headboard video, because if this baby was there, if there's a baby, and if that baby was there, CPS will be notified. What do you think? You think this video is real? And what do you think about Gypsy having her friend Bree release these text messages? Let me know your thoughts.